It's happening. All right, happy Easter, everybody. We got ourselves a leak out on the internet. We got a special bonus episode today because we just got posted a few hours ago by overwheel.com from France or something. Just posted a picture of what appears to be Kingsong's newest wheel. Let's go! All right, so in today's episode, I actually filmed a little bit of a talk about what I thought the next Kingsong wheel might be. I hadn't released it yet. So I'm going to tack this on the front of that video after you see this awesome picture of this, what appears to be Kingsong's newest wheel. I think I absolutely nailed my talk about what I thought was coming from Kingsong. So that'll be at the back end of this video. But for now, let's just take a look at this awesome machine. You can see the shock system in the back. It looks big. They're saying it's a 20-inch wheel with a 2700 watt battery. It's going to be 100 volts. Look at this thing. Look at it. All right, hold on. I don't think I have enough energy. I gotta drink a little coffee so I can get more excited. Now, obviously, this is just a rumor. I know nothing, but this picture is pretty convincing. And if you're looking at it, you see the shock in the back. I have to assume it looks just like the Kingsong S18 shock system. This has got to be Kingsong's newest wheel. We haven't heard any official announcements or anything, but based on the information in this Facebook post, it looks like it's going to be a 2700 watt hour battery, 100 volt suspension wheel. Like, this is the wheel that we've been waiting for. This is going to be like a really nice version of the Gotway Begode EX wheel, which was a 2700 watt hour, 100 volt suspension wheel. But we all saw that janky suspension on it. Like, people weren't really sold on it. It's a great wheel. People have really started to come around and give it some really good reviews. But to see a wheel with those same similar specs, but a much higher quality fit and finish, the polish that Kingsong has, oh, this wheel is going to sell like crazy. And we just saw that InMotion had just announced their InMotion V12 wheel, which doesn't have suspension. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these two wheels end up feeding off each other, because they're definitely two completely different categories. I mean, you've got the V12, which is a non-suspension, 16-inch tire with an 1800 watt-hour battery. And then you got this new Kingsong wheel, which, you know, I'm guessing, but appears to be a 20-inch wheel, 100-volt battery, 2700 watt-hour with suspension. Do these compete against each other? Are they completely separated? Like are we going to see a lot of people who don't want or need the suspension? I'm kind of starting to think they're probably going to be drastically different in the price category. I would be surprised if you saw this Kingsong wheel come in under $3,000. I mean, we're seeing any machine that has a big 2700 watt-hour battery is going up in that $3,000 range. And I'm kind of expecting to see the V12 come in around, I don't know, $2,400. So for the $600 difference, you want that extra battery, that extra, you know, that's all just guessing though. Like, let's put that to the side. Unfortunately, this is really all I have for you, is just some conjecture, some guessing, some rumors, and a picture. But I'm excited. I hope you're just as excited as me. I'm going to play the video I had shot the other day, just doing a little talk about what I thought might be coming from Kingsong. We'll play that now so you can check that out, see what my thoughts were. It appears they might be pretty accurate. So have yourself a great Easter, guys, and until next time, ride safe out there. For today's episode, I just want to talk a little bit, real quickly, about how dangerous it can be to wildly speculate about things. You know, to talk about things when you have absolutely no facts to back them up, no insider information, you really don't know what you're talking about. It can be completely irresponsible. You know, it can lead people on, it can misinform people. You know, and the chances are when you're just wildly speculating, you're probably going to be completely wrong. But with that said, let's wildly speculate about Kingsong's newest wheel. Alright, in this episode, we're going to be talking about more unicycle rumors. If you haven't seen an electric unicycle before, it looks kind of like this. They don't all bounce like that. This one's got a suspension system on it, and that's what we're talking about today. I just wanted to talk a little bit, some rumors, some thoughts, some ideas about what Kingsong's newest wheel might be. We just heard that InMotion just released the InMotion V12 to be coming out this summer. And you know that the Kingsong company's gonna have an answer. And we've already started to hear some rumblings, some rumors about what this wheel could be. Now, I would be very surprised if Kingsong's new wheel didn't push a higher performance spec. We've actually gotten rumors that this is going to be Kingsong's first 35 plus mile an hour wheel. The Kingsong company has, until now, limited their speed to 30 miles per hour. They said that they would never go past that. That's something that they're adamant about, that they think safety is so important that going over 30 miles an hour on a one-wheel device is just unsafe. The rest of the industry disagrees with them, as everybody's pushing the speed limit now. But rumor has it even Kingsong is starting to buckle on that stance, and that this new wheel is going to be 35 plus miles an hour. You know, and that's a big deal, guys, because it's not just about the top speed. You know, just going 35, 40, 50 miles an hour. It's not about actually going and traveling at 50 miles an hour. It's about having the ability to have that much overhead, to have that much extra power in the unicycle to really hold you up through any kind of situation you come across. If you know how these machines work, you know going up hills, hitting bumps, windy days. These are things that tax your motor, tax your battery a lot harder, and it's going to diminish your top speeds. It's going to diminish how much power you have to deliver to hold you up, to keep you moving forward. So having more and more power on top, a higher and higher speed buffer, just makes it a safer ride. Just to point out, I have absolutely no insider information. I know nothing. I'm not educated as to what Kingsong has coming. I have no connection with any of these companies. These are all just random rumors I've heard on the internet and my own thoughts. So let's start with a little bit of rumors that we've heard. I've heard some grumblings that it's going to be a 20-inch wheel. The Kingsong S20. At the very least, that's what we've heard people talking about, the Kingsong S20. Whether that's wishing and wanting or what we're actually going to see, we'll find out soon enough. But a 20-inch suspension wheel, something a little bit bigger than the V11, probably going to have a lot more battery than the S18. And if I had to guess, I'm going to say it would be a 100-volt wheel. It probably wouldn't make any sense for Kingsong to come out and release an 84-volt wheel at this point. We've seen that the industry is going towards these 100-volt battery configurations. So for Kingsong to come out and release another 84-volt wheel, it would be a big disappointment, I think. And we saw with the S18, oh, chickens. And we actually saw with the S18 that there were a lot of complaints about the battery size. You know, I'm not super technical with the battery configurations, exactly how they work, but apparently the S18 is a 3P battery, which means it has 3 batteries side by side with each other. What the industry standard seems to be is a 4P battery. That seems to be a much safer delivery method for power. So the 3P battery was just at a higher risk of heavy sag and cutting out on people. So I'd be very surprised if it was any less than a 4P battery, which would probably put it at that 1800 watt hour battery, which is a very popular, very standard 100-volt battery configuration. 1800 watt hours gives you a ton of range, a ton of power. It's what you see in the MSX, the MSP, these Gotway wheels that really got this street speed wheel category started. They've all got that 1800 watt hour, 100-volt battery. So that's kind of what I would expect to see in this new Kingsong wheel, especially after InMotion just released a wheel with that 1800 watt hour battery configuration. Although, hey, a bigger battery is always more welcome. I personally want to see 2700 watt hour batteries and everything. That's just me. Or heck, even go up to the Sherman size, the 3200, or the Monster Pro 3600. I would expect the new Kingsong wheel to have that same S18 suspension style with the suspension arms in the back and the exposed mountain bike shock. You know, I really think people seem to really like how that suspension system works. I haven't personally been able to ride one yet, but from all accounts, it's very floaty, very soft, very customizable. People really liked it. You know, I think really the only drawback on the S18 is that small battery. So if they're going to release a wheel with a much bigger battery pack, something that's a little bit safer to ride, a little bit faster, a little bit longer range. I think people are going to absolutely love it. Yeah, I would expect to start hearing some grumblings about it coming out soon. The InMotion V12 is going to be released in June. We still haven't gotten an official announcement from InMotion, but we've seen the leaks come out now. They said it would be here in June. We know that several YouTubers already have the wheel and have been testing it, have been trialing it, been making videos about it, so I expect those to drop literally within the next 2 weeks. And I can't imagine Kingsong will wait too long after that to release their wheel. So keep your eyes open, keep your ears peeled. Go check out the electricunicycle.org forum. Go check out the Electric Unicycle subreddit. Stay up to date on what's happening in the community, what's happening with these amazing machines. And get ready for some awesome new wheels to be released. Yeah, I personally am hoping that they go more towards that EX style 2700 watt battery, 40 mile an hour suspension wheel. Something with just a higher build quality from the Kingsong company that will check off those boxes. Because I'm telling you, a suspension system on your unicycle, it's just so much safer. It's so much more stable. The ride is just so much more comfortable. And I gotta say, if you're gonna be riding these electric unicycles for 20 years, you know, if this is a hobby you really care about, something you really like, I think a suspension system is absolutely mandatory to save your knees. I mean, think about how much wear and tear you're doing every time you go out on a really long ride, using your legs as your only form of suspension. I mean, you're just beating up your knees. So if this is something you want to do for a long time, if you ride hard, you ride off-road, you ride just anywhere, just long distances, I really think that what you're going to want to do is get a suspension wheel eventually. You know, it's going to be really interesting to see how the market reacts to this Kingsong suspension wheel, if it's a suspension wheel. Especially because the InMotion V12 doesn't have suspension. So is that going to dig in big time to their sales if the Kingsong wheel is similar in performance, but it has the suspension? And if it's even remotely close to the same price, how is that going to fare for the InMotion V12? All right, guys, stay tuned to the channel. We'll do another talk when the actual wheel gets released, some specs get announced, we actually get an idea of what we're going to be seeing with this new Kingsong wheel. And who knows, maybe we'll have some news about a new Veteran Sherman wheel or a new Gotway wheel before then. So stay tuned. As the rumors roll in, we'll keep talking about them. I have heard some very minor rumors about a new Veteran wheel, but they seem extremely unsubstantiated and more wish listy than anything else, whereas some of the Kingsong rumors do sound a little bit more solid. They seem to be coming from sources that have a little bit more in the know. I haven't actually heard anyone talk about a new Veteran wheel substantially with any kind of real conviction. But hey, if we start hearing some rumors, we'll talk about it. Alright guys, as always, thank you so much for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment. And until next time, ride safe out there.